angry guy here, and men are thriving as they abandon society. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications and never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. Men are thriving as they abandon society. You know, guys, I don't talk about this enough, but the truth of the matter is that when men walk away from society, they find happiness in very simple things. They find happiness in basically just being by themselves and enjoying the things that God has given us around us. Women are the ones who need continuous amounts of stimulation, highs and lows. There's a video that I put on a while ago from Futurama, which was prophetic on don't date robots. But let me make this very clear. You know, when you watch the video, you realize that in the end, it's men who end up thriving without women, and it's society and women who end up suffering and struggling without men. Let's go ahead and jump into the video, and then we'll talk more about it.
Ordinary human dating. It's enjoyable, and it serves an important purpose. But when a human dates an artificial mate, there is no purpose, only enjoyment. And that leads to tragedy.
Neato! A Marilyn Monroe bot!
Ooh, you're a real dreamboat.
Billy every teen.
Harmless fun? Let's see what happens next.
Billy, do you want to walk your dog?
No thanks, Mom. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to get a paper route and earn some extra cash?
No thanks, Dad. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to come over tonight? We could make out together.
Gee, Mavis, your house is across the street. That's an awfully long way to go for making out.
Did you notice what went wrong in that scene? Ordinarily, Billy would work hard to make money with his paper route. Then he'd use the money to buy dinner for Mavis, thus earning a slim chance to perform the reproductive act. But in a world where teens can date robots, why should he bother? Why should anyone bother? Let's take a look at Billy's planet a year later. Where are all the football stars? And where are the biochemists? They're trapped in the soft, vice-like grip of robot lips. All civilization was just an effort to impress the opposite sex. And sometimes the same sex. Now, let's skip forward 80 years into the future. Where's Billy?
Farewell!
The next day, Billy's planet was destroyed by aliens. Have you guessed the name of Billy's planet? It was Earth. Don't date robots!
Guys, now I want you to think about something very carefully regarding Billy. Billy lived a darn good life. Billy, basically, instead of having to stress himself out or any of those other stuff, what Billy did was he went out, he got himself a Monroe bot as a young man, and that Monroe bot basically didn't stress Billy out at all. So his balls were always empty. He lived with his parents for most of his adolescent life, so his belly was always full. Now, here's where we're getting at. Something I talk about is constantly that, you know, Deanna Lorraine, she was a dating coach years ago. I don't think she's doing it anymore, but she would always say to women, you know, ladies, all you have to do to make a man empty is to feed him and F him. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? Make sure his belly is full and that his balls are empty. And as we can see that it's hard for these individuals, modern day individuals, to even handle that much. But what happens when those needs are met? Well, for the average man, That's it. He does not, men don't need much to survive. Men don't need much to be happy. So, what did Billy end up doing? As I said, during his adolescent years, most of his basic needs were met by his parents. He had shelter, he had food, he had social interaction with his parents and maybe even siblings. So, he did not need any additional interaction. And in terms of, and that was really it. You know, this gets crazy. He had his Mon robot, so he was good there, and he probably had his video games. Okay, so when he wasn't messing around with his Mon robot, or eating or sleeping, he was playing games, and that was it. And after he left his parents, Billy decided that he probably didn't want to work, so he lived basically a very simple life, and he probably went on Medicaid, applied for food stamps, got food stamps, was able to get very simple housing provided by the state, and he basically spent the next 50 years just making love to his Mon robot. And then he passed away a very happy man because his belly was full, his balls were empty over the course of his entire life, and society degraded. You see, there was no one to fit. Look, if you look at what happened in the video, if you look at society in that video, you can see a number of things. You can see that society had broken down. It had literally collapsed. I mean, let's see if I can jump into it so you guys can have
Where's Billy?
just look at, there he is in this apartment. But again, guys, look at this. He's sleeping sleeping on a mattress with no sheet, doesn't care. Men don't, hey, it's better than the floor. There's some dudes who love the floor. You see that. I've got guys who talk about it in my comment section, how much they love sleeping on the floor. Doesn't matter how much money they have, they refuse to stop sleeping on the floor. While there's some of you guys who are furious with these men. There's some of you guys, they're furious with these men. You're not gonna stop them. You're not gonna stop them. Some of y'all are saying that it doesn't cost much to afford a mattress or to get, and and these, but in your heart, these men, they don't give a damn. They have money in the bank. There's one dude who sleeps on the ground. I think he said, "Angry, I have over $200,000 in the bank, and I will never stop sleeping on the floor." Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! He's not the only one. I have a lot of men who are leaving comments that talk about how much they love sleeping on the floor. A lot of these guys are listening to my videos from the woods, and I share this with you because I just want you to understand that, as I said already, men don't need a lot to survive. If you look at the world around them in Futurama, after Billy had his fun, I mean, just look at it. Everything is destroyed. Like everything, this is before the aliens actually invaded the planet, guys. This isn't after the aliens invaded. This is before the aliens invaded. Within roughly 50 years, society had broken down and gotten to this point. I mean, when the aliens came, there was basically nothing there. It was, look at this guy. Look at it. Men had stopped trying, men had stopped working, men had stopped defending. The infrastructure had been collapsing. And this wasn't just an issue that had been happening in Western society. The cancer of this behavior had spread throughout the rest of the planet. And basically, virtually every man on the planet now was just basically relaxing and chilling. As long as their bellies were full and, their sacks were empty, they didn't care, and who are the and what ended up suffering? Society. And what happened after this happened? They basically returned to the Stone Age and then to the medieval age, and then the aliens came back and destroyed things again, and then after that they rebuilt. And then we ended up with a futuristic reality. However, you have to understand that this is just These are the consequences of what happens when men walk away from society, because men don't need a lot to survive. Billy lived a damn good life. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already have it, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Men are thriving as they abandon society. What do you guys think about this? I want to know your thoughts, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.